Boom. We're live on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Let's go, y'all. Good evening. Good evening. I'm doing a lot tonight. So I'm live in a lot of places, but I want to make sure I served everybody tonight. So as we get ready to go, everybody get the energy up. And let's get this thing started shortly. As always, what up, what up, what up, Bonnie? Good to see you in here. Nice to see you. Am I coming through good? If I'm coming through good, let me know. Give me about 5 minutes, man, so I get everything ready to rock and roll in here. What up, Shawnee? What up, all my YouTube? What up, Cabrina? How you doing? What's good? If I'm coming through good, just light up the fire emojis with some chats. We're going to jump right into this one tonight. What up, Darlene? What's good? Let's go. I see it live. You can share this. It means the world to me. Whatever platform you're watching me on, YouTube or Facebook, make sure right now that you share this out with everybody, and let's really turn it up, okay? I want to do something right now. Facebook, you can't see me, but YouTube, you can. If you're on YouTube right now, I want to share this with you. Everybody right now, we have a special, okay? Before we get started, we have a special right now going on, okay? ShopRehabTime.com, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We have the Dreamer packs. It's less than 100 now. We only made 100. People bought them all weekend. I don't know. We might have 10, 20 left. I'm not sure. But go to ShopRehabTime.com right now to get it. Right here, this Dreamer pack. If you are on YouTube, you can see it. Okay, ShopRehabTime.com. Make sure you get that Dreamer pack. Okay, make sure you get it. It is super dope. It is super, super dope, y'all. If you're on Facebook, go to ShopRehabTime.com. I gotta shout that out because y'all gonna be mad. Y'all gonna be like, man, Trent, you ain't let me know. I can't get it. Go get it. Plus, everything on the site is 15% off or 20% off. Use the code FREE, you get free shipping. Okay, so take advantage of it. This is fire. I don't even have it yet, but I'm gonna get it. This is my favorite drop ever. Okay, the Dreamer Commandments. And let me just say this before we get started. I got to say this before we jump into this. Everybody in 2025, we got to live by these 3 rules. All right, we're going to honor our dream, we're going to honor our vision, we're going to honor our creativity. That's what's going to change your life. We're going to talk a little bit about breaking the cycle tonight, a lot about breaking the cycle. But I want to touch on this because a lot of us, I'm going to keep it real, we're not honoring those things. We honoring people's opinions about us. We honoring our past. We honoring things we can't change. We honoring our pain. It stops right now, right? This is the moment right now, all right? Share this right now if you feel me. Light up the chat right now if you feel me. I'm passionate tonight. This is the moment right now where we say, listen, we're gonna honor our dreams. We're gonna honor our best self. That's what I want for you, okay? So everybody right now, I want you to go do that. And let's get that started, okay? ShopRehabTime.com. I want to jump right into this tonight. And I want to talk about this, all right? And we're gonna dive in deep on some things, okay? And the first thing we're gonna dive deep on tonight is let me rewind this right quick. I really want you to hear me what I said when I said this. This is the year where you stop honoring, I'm gonna say this slowly so you get me, you stop honoring the wrong things in your life. And I want you to think about that right now. Before we jump into the night, what have you been honoring? You might say, Trent, I'm not honoring my past. I'm not honoring this person. But you're giving them your power. They controlling how you feel. They keep you from your greatness. So yes, you are honoring those things right now. Okay, so I really want you to think about that in this moment. Like before we start tonight, like what have you been honoring? And I want you to make a pledge, a commitment to yourself, and you tell yourself, listen, I'm not honoring these things anymore. I'm honoring my dreams. I'm honoring my best self. I'm honoring my worth. I'm honoring my creativity. I'm honoring my vision, and I'm going to go live my best life. Why? Because you deserve it. Why? Because it's available to you. We can't go through this year. We can't go through this year complaining about the same things that we're not willing to change. We can't. We can't go through this year doing that anymore. It all starts with you. No more of that. And I know I'm being very pushy with you tonight because I really want you to change. I don't want you just posting on Facebook. I don't want you just posting on YouTube and social media. I don't want you doing it. I really want you to be like, you know what? Let me make a change. So just think about that tonight. Just spend some time and I'd be like, man, what have I been honoring? Have I been honoring my best self? Or have I been honoring the things that I don't deserve? Have I been honoring the things I can no longer change? Or have I been honoring the things that actually have control and can make some change in my life? It starts with you. It starts there, okay? So I want to jump into this tonight right now, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk tonight. Okay, let me pull up my chat so I can see my chat on YouTube. All right, cool. I see my chat on YouTube. We got it going. He said, "Man, I need this tonight." Hey, I'm glad you need it. All right, so we're gonna talk tonight. So welcome tonight. Thank you for joining me, man. And I just want to have a real conversation with you for the next 45 minutes. Save your questions because I can't read questions while I'm talking. I wish I was that multi-talented. But make sure you reach out to me, okay? My text community, go to trentshelton.com, sign up for the new text community. That old number is done. I don't have that number. 817-242, that no longer exists. So if you're on YouTube, it is pinned to the top. If you can't remember, if you're on Facebook, you go to trentshelton.com right now, scroll to the bottom, and you will see how to text me. Make sure you join that text community, okay? All information, inspiration, transformation, everything to that text community. But I want to dive in right now, okay? And I want to challenge you tonight. Tonight, you're going to have to wear your tough skin. Okay, listening to this right now, it might not make you feel good, but it's going to bring so much good to your life, okay? Your painful narrative, okay, is just a thought. Okay, it's not just a thought, excuse me. That painful narrative that you're telling yourself, oh, Trent, I just talked to it's not just a thought. It's a prison, okay? It's the reason you are replaying old failures, why you feel stuck, why you keep reading the same chapters over and over again, and why you're afraid to move forward. You might say, Trent, I'm not afraid to move forward. If you're not moving forward, you're afraid to move forward because you're stuck in a place that you want to get out of. And so if that's you tonight, if you say, you know what, I'm actually ready to break this cycle, of hurt, to break this cycle of settling, to break this cycle of me not being my best, you're in the right place tonight. But here's the truth. That story of you being stuck doesn't have to be your reality no more. And I want you to say yes right now. If you're with me right now tonight and you're saying, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, I don't want this next year to be the same reality. I don't want to stay stuck in this. And this is my personal reality because there's a quote out there, I think it's by Joe Dispenza. He says, your personal, hey, I'm gonna butcher it, but he basically saying your reality, your personality creates your reality, if that makes sense. Your personality, so who you are, the stories you tell yourself end up becoming the reality that you live. But that story, whatever you're telling yourself, doesn't have to be your reality. So today we're going to talk about 5 real, raw steps to help you let go of that narrative, okay? And not even just to help you let go, but to help you shatter it completely, right? These steps, I promise you, it's not just some same old advice. They're real, they're raw, and designed to set you free. They're designed to set you free. And this is all about self-worth mastery. Self-worth mastery, make sure you're tapped in because we are teaching self-worth mastery in 2025. It's the most important course that you can take for your life. Without self-worth, it's hard to achieve anything because the belief in self, if it's not there, it's hard to really change. So let's jump into this. Number 1, okay, if you're going to break the cycle and set yourself free, write this down. Everybody in the chat, say this with me, okay? Embrace radical disruption, okay? Embrace radical disruption. What does this mean? Let me give you a quote by Albert Einstein. I wrote this down. You can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. Albert Einstein. You can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. What does that mean? Some of us, we're trying to heal in the same environment that hurt us. Some of us, we're trying to change our life in the same environment that caused destruction to our life. Some of us, we're trying to believe different and trying to be different in the same environment that doesn't believe in us. And so when I talk about radical disruption, what does that look like for you? I'm talking about radically disrupting your life. Some people do this by moving. I'm not telling you to move, but some people say, you know what? I'm moving to a different city. I've seen this happen. I've coached people who moved to a different place because they said, I want to radically disrupt my life. There are some people that go cold turkey on certain things in their life, say, you know what? I'm going to radically disrupt my life. You ever see somebody pick up a new habit or hobby? Like, how did they get into that? You see somebody get into bodybuilding. Like, how did they get into bodybuilding? That couldn't get them a lift of weight 3 months ago. Radical disruption. You see somebody get deep into their faith. You're like, man, they used to be a devil about 3 months ago. How are they in their faith? Radical disruption. So radical disruption basically means that, you know what? You jumping in the deep end. You're saying, I'm changing everything. This is the year where I change everything. I'm not going to go through this tiptoeing. I'm going to say, I'm going to radically disrupt my life. And I'm going to be real with you. That works for me. It works for me. I ask myself all the time, what is the polar opposite of what I'm doing? I got to get away from this. So if I know something is not helping my life, I'm going to radically disrupt it. Let me give you some information with this. Painful narratives, okay, thrive in repetition and in what's familiar. To break free, you need to disrupt the cycle with something new. Okay? It could be as simple as changing your routine or as bold into stepping into something completely different in your life. This is why it works. Novel experiences force the brain to create new neurological connections. Your neurological pathways are everything, y'all. And I'm not trying to be all geeky and sciencey on you, but I'm giving you some real stuff that's true, right? What you're connected to will power you. What you're connected to becomes your addiction. The reason why you want to break free from things, but you can't because you're still in the same environment. You're dependent on willpower. Oh, Trent, I don't have to leave this situation. I'm not telling you to walk away from certain things, by the way. That's just to leave. Of course, be smart. Of course, use logic. I'm not saying get out of a relationship because you're having some issues that can be fixed. That's not my message. But you know what you're in. You know what you're selling for. You know if you're a job that you hate that's literally tearing your mental health apart. And some of us think I'm just going to change in this situation. No, your neurological pathways, your brain is connected to that situation, to that thing, to that environment. That's why you keep on going back to it. That's why it becomes an addiction. That's why you can't break free no matter how hard you try to break free. Okay? Breaking the grip of repetitive thoughts, okay, and getting out that loop will change your life, y'all. So this is how I want you to do it. Change your daily environment. Okay, it can be as simple as driving a different way to work. It can be as simple as visiting a new place, taking a class you never tried. But I want you to do something that you've never done before. I want you to massively, radically disrupt your life. If you're in a cycle right now that sucks, you have to break the cycle. One of the things that people do, I'm not gonna tell you to do this, but people, you ever, I'll give you a perfect example of something. And I know this has worked for me. This is funny. So I remember it was about like 5 years ago. And I actually liked what I was actually doing. But I love to eat Twizzlers, right? You know, like the red Twizzler candy. Me and my son Tristan, we loved to eat them when he was little. So I'll never forget it. But it was kind of like an addiction. Obviously, Twizzlers aren't the best thing for you. So like, man, I gotta break this. And I couldn't. Every time Twizzlers came around, I'm like, man, I gotta have these Twizzlers. Like I was fiending for the Twizzlers. So I didn't plan this, but I'm gonna give you a good example. I didn't plan it. So one night, Tristan had like a stomach bug or food poisoning, something like that. It was bad. And he ate Twizzlers. And I don't know if he ate ice cream with it or something crazy. He was a kid at that time. You know, kids do experimental crazy stuff. Within 10 minutes, I just see him barfing, like, like just everywhere. And it was just red on the carpet, Twizzler. I'm not trying to be like, I know it's TMI, so I don't get too detailed. It was terrible. Like it was like a murder scene. It was bad. From that moment on, even to this day, even talking about it right now, my stomach starts to bubble up. It massively disrupt my relationship with Twizzlers. Massively. Like I don't even look at Twizzlers no more. I can't, if you hand me one, I don't want it because that experience was so freaking disgusting that I can't even stomach the thought of having a Twizzler. And I know I'm not telling you to go, throw up or do something crazy like that. But what I mean by radically disruption, that's what I mean. And now my relationship with Twizzlers, as I used to be addicted to them things, now I can't even stand those things. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to do something bold. Okay. Sign up for an experience that scares you. Do something you've never done before. Go jump out of a plane, skydive, be safe. But I want you to do something. Go public speak. Do something you have never done before. Because when you do something you have never done before, it really shows you that you are worthy of change, that you are worthy of growth, that you are worthy of taking your life to the next level. And it helps you break the cycle. So number one, okay, everybody in here, I want you to take, and listen, it's your life, okay? And as much as I love each and every one of you, I know most of you ain't gonna do it. I know most of you are gonna stay in the same cycle of pain, the same stuff. Prove me wrong. But statistically, only 8% of people will actually do this. So out of hundreds of thousands of people that's gonna watch this video, probably about 800 people, 80 people will do it, depending on how many people watch it. 8%. But if you're serious about this change, I want you to do it. I want you to move into 2025 if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. If you know the life that you're living is not working for you, if you know your self-worth is suffering, I want you to massively disrupt your life in 2025. I want you to go discover something new about you. I want your friends to be like, dang, what's wrong with her? Like, she changed. What's wrong with him? Are you okay? They got to call you, be like, bro, are you okay? I'm seeing you out here, hugging trees. Like, when I got into nature, my friends hit me up like, bro, you good? I see you out here grounding. I see you out here sitting by being one with nature. You good, Trent? I want it to be that type of disruption where people look at you be like, hey, what is up with this person? Okay, because I want you to push yourself into something new. Okay. Number 2, second step. Hope you're still with me. I want you to rewrite the narrative. Okay, y'all share this right now too. Still share it, man. Light up the chat. I want you to rewrite the narrative through opposite action. Okay. Ralph Emerson has a beautiful quote that I wrote down in my notes. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. What does that mean? It means simply once you do something you fear, you take the fear out of because you embraced it. Most people in this world, they run from fear. So if you want to change the narrative, rewrite the narrative in your life, okay, do it through an opposite action. It kind of ties into the first thing. Okay, so you got to do something totally random. I'm gonna give you some notes. Your narrative dictates your actions. Okay, listen to this. If your story says, I'm not good enough, okay, you'll avoid opportunities. How many people in here have self-sabotaged themselves? I'll be the first to raise my hand. If I'm the only one keeping it real here tonight, that's cool. But I'll be the first to raise my hand. How many of us have self-sabotaged ourselves by the story we tell ourselves? Oh, I'm not good enough, because somebody probably told us, or an environment has probably built this spirit inside of us that I'm not good enough, has stripped our self-worth away. And now we avoid opportunities because we self-sabotage. I know people in my life right now that are incredible, that are talented, that are amazing. Some of you in here are amazing, but you self-sabotage yourself because you're telling yourself, I'm not good enough. Maybe somebody told you that. Maybe you experienced something and you failed, and now you start to think, this is who I am. Now this situation has now become your identity, right? We have all been there. But you will avoid the opportunities. That's the problem. Okay? You're talking yourself out of what's really meant for your life. But I want to challenge you. But what if you took right now the opposite action of that? There's so many times in my life, even now, and I'm addicted to this, and I'll share it with you, that anytime I feel like I'm not good enough, I go do something that makes me feel good enough. I've shared this with y'all before. Anytime I feel like I'm not worthy, I go do something to show myself that I'm worth it. Whether I'm proving myself wrong or right, depending on my mindset, I'm not staying stuck in the story. I'm not staying stuck in the story of limitation. I'm not staying stuck in the story that I'm not good enough. I'm not staying stuck in the story that, oh, I never will become. I'm gonna die trying. I'm gonna die trying. I'm gonna die trying to figure it out. Wherever my mindset is, I could be in a, the reason I say proving myself wrong or right, I'm proving myself right when I say I'm not enough because I'm in a prison perspective. Sometimes I get in my feelings. It's like, Trent, you're not enough. And so I said, okay, cool. Well, then go prove yourself right then. Go try something. If you're not enough, then that's the result. We live with it. But 100% of the time, when I go do the opposite action, I find that I am enough. So I want to challenge you with that. Anytime you feel something that is limiting to you, anytime you feel something that's taken away from your self-worth, if you tell yourself you're not lovable, go love on some people. Go send a text message out. And I know this seems simple, but it's the simplicity of life becomes the mastery of life. Life is not complicated. We often make it that way. So when you feel like, when you say, I don't love myself, what I want you to do is I want you to go show yourself. Go hug on your kids. If you say I'm not lovable, go love on your kids. Go send a message out to somebody on social media. If you say, I've taught this for the last 15 years, if you say I don't have value, I want you to go on social media and I want you to say something kind to a person. I want you to, not even social media, I want you to go to your job and say something kind to your coworker. I want you to say something kind to your spouse. I guarantee if you say something kind, you will make them feel valued. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you didn't have value, nobody should be able to feel the value from you. So one of my things that I do is I go live. When I feel like I'm not valuable, I go talk to y'all. And I look in this chat, I look at the comments, and you say, Trent, man, you helped me so much. Trent, thank you so much. I have no choice. So what I'm doing is I'm rewriting the narrative in my mind through opposite action. Why it works? Opposite action forces you to gather evidence that contradicts your painful narrative, proving it wrong in real time. The problem with most of us, when we're in our season of being stuck, when we're in our season of this negative cycle, what we're doing is that we are not trying to prove the narrative wrong, right? We are staying stuck in the narrative. We are saying, okay, this is what the narrative is. This is what the narrative is going to be. And we stay stuck in this the whole entire time. That's what we do. We stay stuck in this narrative and we never go challenge it. So I want to challenge you right now, okay, to challenge it through opposite action. Anytime you feel something that is limiting you, I want you to go challenge it. I don't want you to stay stuck in it. I don't want you to say, well, this is my life. This is how it's going to be, because the truth is that is how your life is going to be. If you keep telling yourself that. No more, this is how my life is going to be. I want you to go be like, well, this is the life I'm going to live. This is the life I'm going to go try to go get. This is the life I'm pursuing. This is my truth. I'm going to live in my facts instead of my feelings. This world wants you to settle in, this is just what it is. This is just who I am. No, it's who you're choosing to be. And I know it's hard to choose something different at times. I feel you. But this is who you're choosing to be. Right? This is who you're choosing to be. And you can choose to become something else. And of course, that takes time. Of course, that takes work. Cycles don't break overnight. But as you continue to choose better choices, as you continue to give better self-talk, as you continue to believe in yourself, as you continue to do the things we're talking about tonight by rewriting the story that you tell yourself through opposite action, guess what starts to happen neurologically? Those neurological pathways start to change towards something else. They start to be built towards something else. So I used to feel like I was less in my neurological mindset, my pathways, because that's all that I knew. Now I'm starting to feel like a little bit that I'm worthy. I'm starting to feel like I got value. And the more I feed this positivity, the more I feed my best self, the more I feed what I deserve, the more I live in my self-worth, the more I do that, the more I believe, the more I gain confidence, the more I believe that I am worthy. So I hope that you get that, okay? So I want you to prove things wrong in real time. Contradict those negative stories by positive action, okay? So if you need some homework, identify one action you avoid because of your narrative, okay? Do the opposite. For example, if your story says, I'm not worthy of connection, go reach out to somebody, go connect with somebody. It's that simple. If your story says, you know, I'm not lovable, what I want you to do is go give love. Get around love. Whether it's in here, in this chat, you feel the love in here, whether it's your church, whatever it may be, get around love, okay? And I'll give you a quick story. I wrote this down. A client of mine, I'm not gonna get the person's name, believe they always fail. Their opposite action, okay? They entered a competition they didn't think they would win. So literally, I told this person to do this. They've always failed in everything that they did, quote unquote. They felt that they were a failure. So I said, okay, well, let's do the opposite. Let's go enter a competition. And they didn't think they would win. They didn't win first place, but you know what happened? In the pursuit of going to win, because I've taught this, success, some of y'all know this, success isn't in the accomplishment, success is in the attempt, right? Our mindset is built not in the outcome, but it's built in the pursuit, okay? They didn't win first place, but they gained confidence and built connections that changed their life. So it's not always about succeeding in the opposite action. It's about doing something different, okay? Because as we all know the quote, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting something different. If you do no different, you're gonna see no difference in your life. If you make no change is gonna happen in your life. And I know that seems common sense, but a lot of us, we don't practice that common sense. I'm a common sense teacher. So I really want you to try that, okay? So number 2, rewrite the narrative through opposite action. I hope you guys are getting something from this tonight because I'm teaching tonight. Step number 3, This is powerful. Okay. In order to break the cycle, reclaim the missing pieces. Okay. Reclaim the missing pieces. The quote that I wrote down is, you don't need to find yourself. You need to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. And I'm going to let that breathe for a moment. You know, some of us, we're trying so hard to find ourselves, right? A lot of us, we're trying to find ourselves in relationships, trying to find ourselves through social media and the world. I don't believe the world has your identity first and foremost. But what if I told you that you don't need to find yourself? You just need to remember who you were before the world told you who you should be. Before the world took your imagination from you. Before the world told you were stupid for having a dream. Before opinions told you that you were crazy. Before someone who didn't love you, didn't treat you right, and told you you would be nothing without them. Before your parents shot down your dreams. And it might be hard for some of us to go back to that version of us. And so sometimes we need to create who we need to be. I understand that. But who were you before the world got its hold on you? And if I can give you a little advice, and maybe somebody will do it. One of the genius things that I do that's really not genius is I fast and I disconnect in nature. Nature walks my soul back home. Nature gets to my core essence because nobody's out there. I have no opinions to force me to be something I'm not. No opinions to sway my mindset. And I'm always trying to get back to the core of Trent. Right? What would the younger version of Trent do? The Trent that felt so alive, the Trent that didn't have any limitations, the Trent that didn't have any ceilings. Before this world, before failure, before all these external pressures and expectations got its hold on me. Who am I? And a lot of you have forgot. And rightfully so. Because now you're just living life just to live. And you left that child spirit behind and you never pursued it. That creativity that you never pursued, that dream, that vision that you never pursued. A lot of my content, a lot of this that you see right now, watching on YouTube, on Facebook, my setup and stuff and my creativity, that's just the child in me. That's me feeding my childlike spirit that's in me. That's me feeding younger Trent. Because younger Trent loved to just create and just have ideas and all the things. And the decision that I made that maybe you can make too is I pro myself. I'm being loyal to that. I'm being loyal to the dreamer commandments. That's why I came up with those. Honor thy vision, honor thy gift, honor thy dream. And I'm living by that. Because when you feed that, you fuel. Y'all aren't hearing me. When you feed that, you fuel your life. You fuel your spirit. You fuel who you are. What you feed your mind will grow in your soul. Some of you have been feeding your mind limitation and doubt over and over and over again. You're wondering why it's growing in your soul, and that's who you are becoming. That's who you're choosing to be. And I know it's easier said than done. I get it. But I want to challenge you to reclaim those missing pieces. Let me get to my notes so I can teach a little bit. Painful narratives often cause you to abandon parts of yourself. Okay? These narratives that we create, these narratives that outside external things created for us, that we believed. That's most of us. We believed the lie. We believe when the world says that you're supposed to be this, we believed it. When society put its standards on you, you believed it. When a person told you that you would be this, you freaking believed it. You allow somebody who ain't God tell you how you should live your life. You allow somebody that ain't God tell you that this is the plan for your life. You allow some people that ain't God tell you the purpose for you. And I get fired up about that because I see so many people allowing other people to be their God. No, I'm not, Trent. I'm not letting this person be my God. If they're telling you how to live your life and controlling you, then you're allowing them to be God. Let's take it there tonight. And I've been guilty of that. Of all these things telling me what I should do, how I should live, who I should be, what I can't do, what I can't be. Who are you? Who are you to tell me what I can do and what I can be? Let's be real. You didn't create me, so I'm not gonna let you control me. Y'all know that quote. Don't let those that didn't create you control you. And that's what's happening with some of us. Okay? Painful narratives often cause you to abandon yourself, parts of yourself, your creativity, your voice, or passions. Okay? Detaching from the narrative requires reclaiming those lost pieces of yourself. And this is why it works, y'all. When you reintegrate what you've suppressed, you begin to feel whole again, right? It's kind of like when you Stella got our groove back, right? It's kind of like when you get back to the core and essence of who you are, you start to feel alive again, right? When you start to be yourself and you're connected with your highest self, with your purest self, you start to feel alive again. When you get back to doing what you used to do that you abandoned. And I'll ask you this question right now, something to think about tonight. What would the younger you, and if you've been following me for long enough, you've heard me talk about this before, great practice. What would the younger you be upset with you about that you abandoned? Whether it be 13-year-old you, 8-year-old you, 20-year-old you, 25-year-old you, whatever, 30-year-old you. What would the past version of yourself that was happy, that was fulfilled, that had ideas and dreams and was so vibrant, what would that version of yourself be upset with you or sad that you abandoned for whatever reason? And whatever that is, I want to challenge you to pick it back up. If you were playing the saxophone and you love to play the saxophone, and for some reason, maybe it's age or whatever, you stop playing the saxophone, I want you to get back to playing that saxophone. Like you from New Orleans on Bourbon Street, all right, in the French Quarter. I want you to get back. Shout out to the NO 504. I'm a 504 boy, but so shout out to the Jazz, right? But pick back up that saxophone. It's a basketball. Go pick it back up. Now be careful. I want you to tear your Achilles like I did. Like that was, you got to know your limitations. That was me. I was like, my younger self says I should play basketball, and I ruptured my Achilles. So be careful what you do. But at the same time, I don't regret it. I never regret feeding my younger self, feeding my imagination, because I teach this to kids all the time. And as adults, I think you need to learn this too. We allow our imagination to be stripped away from us. And this is deep stuff, y'all. I hope that y'all are getting this. I know this is not just the in-your-face motivation, but if you understand this tactically, this is free things I could charge for right now. Literally, that I go to companies and teach. But for a lot of us in here, we've abandoned our imagination. We stopped imagining. We became boring. Can I be real? We became freaking boring. Some of y'all don't want to hear that, but you're boring. Every day you do the same thing. Go to work, brush your teeth, eat, cook, go home. Go to work, brush your teeth, eat, and you are in this cycle of stagnation. You're in this cycle of no excitement in your life. And life is just life. It's boring. You're not having fun. It's lame. Right? Bring some fun back into your life. And I'm not talking about negative fun. I'm not telling you to do what you want to do, but you know what I mean? But I am telling you to bring some fun back into your life. No matter what you're going through, never let anything steal your peace or your joy or your fun. Okay, so what is that thing that you abandoned that you're going to go back and get? Maybe it was singing. Maybe it was dancing. Maybe it was ballet. Maybe it was, painting. Whatever it is. Okay? Because when you reintegrate what you suppressed, you start to feel alive again. That's why when you get around things, when you go back home, you go back to get around old friends, am I by myself with this? But like, you ever get around something that was old in the past, you just feel alive again, you feel connected, get around old friends from college, like, man, I feel good. It's because you are reopening something that was suppressed. You ever do something, go to a sporting event, like even with me, when I go back to football with Tristan, I just feel alive again. Even though I'm never going to play football again, but it's just something that I loved and I feel alive again. When I lost football, I actually ran from it. I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to coach it. I didn't want to be around it because it hurt my life. And I suppressed it, the love for the game. When I got back around, I was like, man, I feel alive again. It's because you are reopening what you suppressed. So a few action items on how to do this. Number one, reflect. right? Reflect on this. What did I stop doing? And we just talked about this, or believing about myself because of this story. This dumb story that I'm telling myself, what did I stop doing or stop believing because of this story? Okay, write that down tonight. I want you to think about it. Then what I want you to do after that is take one action to reconnect with that part of you. That's not hard. But most of us, we ain't gonna do it. It's not hard. Right? Maybe you gotta go dust out the flute. They got all the dust in the attic. Go dust it off. You might be rusty. Tune it up, right? Get back on the keys. If you love to play piano, get back. Okay, take one action to reconnect with that part of you, whether it's picking up a long lost hobby, speaking up, or embracing a part of your personality that you've hidden. And I'll give you a great story that I wrote down that I coach a lot of people, obviously, I mentored a lot over the years, as y'all know. But I remember this particular individual, they had stopped, and I believe it was years ago, but I believe it was dancing. But they had stopped dancing in high school, like after somebody mocked them and made fun of them, right? They told them they sucked, they couldn't dance, and they abandoned it. And then years later, I challenged them because I'm like, hey, are you gonna let a person that isn't God tell you what you can or can't do? Just because you're not for them or their flavor, as I always say, just because you're not their cup of coffee, they buck and go get them some tea. You don't change who you are for them. They can readjust to who you are. If they don't like what you do, then tell them, ooh, I almost said a bad word. Tell them to move around. Tell them to kick rocks. All right, cool. Go find somebody else. I ain't got to be for you. I'm not for everybody, but I'm from the somebody who needs me. Okay, so I told that individual to get back to dance class, literally challenged them. Go to dance class. And they did. All right. And I said, don't be perfect, right? Go to dance class. Let them judge you, whatever it may be. You want to twerk, twerk, whatever it is for you. Go to dance class. I don't care. I'm not telling you how to dance, baby girl. Just do what you do. Be free. Get back to it. But go reclaim your joy. And to make a long story short, they reclaimed that joy and it completely shifted their confidence. The simple thing of going to reclaim a piece of them that was missing, right? So to wrap this up, we got 2 more steps, but to wrap step 3 up, what piece of yourself is missing? Okay, because if you're going to break the cycle and reclaim who you are and really ultimately living your self-worth, we teach this in self-worth mastery, you have to do that step. Okay, you have to go back to the thing that used to excite you that you abandoned for whatever reason. Okay, step number 4. We do this at the Protect Your Peace retreat. Okay, if you ever been there, some of you might have been there. I don't know who's on here tonight, but you guys know this. We've done it, right? We've done it on the very first night. So Protect Your Peace retreat, TrentShelton.com. Make sure you're a part of it if you can be. Actually, you had to do an interview, so not everybody can be a part of it. But if you really want to be a speaker and you really want to retreat, the retreat is probably the best event. Not probably. It is the best event that I love throughout the whole year. Okay, it's at my cabin in Broken Bow in August. So more details will come about that. But we do this. So step number 4, okay? Rewrite the narrative through symbolic closure. Rituals create the future by ending the past. Okay, now we ain't talking about no like crazy rituals. Like they got a bridge down the street. I think y'all heard it. I think I was talking about that. It's a haunted bridge down the street from my house, like in real life. And I love to run there until I found out it was haunted. I can't even protect my peace no more. Somebody was like, Trent, do you know that bridge is like very haunted, right? That whole area. I was like, no, it's not. I look on YouTube. I'm like, what the heck? So I ain't talking about no rituals like that. Okay, rituals can be positive. Okay. But what I want you to do is to truly detach, you need closure. Okay. And again, when I talk about closure, I'm not talking about somebody giving you closure. I'm not talking about the apology you might not ever get. I'm talking about creating your own closure. Symbolic rituals create a powerful emotional release, helping you say goodbye to the old story in a tangible way. And I'm going to tell you why this works. Okay. The brain responds to action. Okay, if you ever heard me teach, you know I tell you in facts over feelings process, I tell you, yes, remind yourself of the fact. If you feel like you're not enough, tell yourself you are enough, but you must put an action behind that that proves that you are enough. Okay, action really changes the brain. We can think it, but when we take action, the brain neurological pathways like on steroids, boom, they go on super speed. Action, action, action. That's why a lot of us, we never make the change in our life because we have inconsistent action, right? Or inaction. We don't actually go do it. Okay, transformation, action, act. Application creates transformation. Okay? Act. Application creates transformation, so we must take action. The brain responds to symbolic acts, okay? Actions, associating them with emotional resolution and letting go. Okay? One of the things that we do when you first, dang, I'm probably giving this away. Well, one of the things that I've done before, if you came to my event in Youth Romania, you actually saw this on the screen. This was back in, I don't know, 2014 or 15, something like that. But one of the things that we do is I walk people through a process. We have different processes that we tie emotional releases with action, right? We take an action, and this is very, very powerful. Not just thinking it, but actually taking action towards it. One of the best things to do, you probably seen this before, is we do this in my family. In my family, we do this every year. I'll give you two things that we did. So 2 years ago, I had my friends over, and we actually got a planter, we got some soil, and we got lemon seeds. So we created this lemon plant, not really a tree, but a plant. And what we did was I walked them through this process. And I'm not gonna go through the whole process, but the main part of the process is we wrote on a sheet of paper who we wanted to be and what we want to let go of. And we planted that piece of paper in the soil because we said this is going to be a seed. It might not, it might not happen in 1 month, 2 months, and 3 months, but we believe that we're putting closure to our old selves and we're now moving into who we want to be and who we deserve to be. Another great example that I've done, I do this a lot with people, is the fire example. So we write on a piece of paper what we don't need, you know, maybe it's an addiction, it's the last time I'm doing this, whatever, and we freaking burn it. We burn it. We create that type of closure. Throwing in the fire is done, right? We take the action. We don't just say it. We actually put action towards it because action strengthens that neurological pathway that now says, man, this is real. This is a real thing, okay? So what you can do, write the narrative on a paper, okay, whatever narrative you have, right? Put your emotions into it, right? It should be some teardrops on that paper. The narrative, I'm not enough. The narrative that they will never love me. The narrative that I will never, whatever narrative it is, okay? And destroy it meaningfully. Okay, don't just destroy it with intention. Okay, you can burn it safely. Okay, again, this is at your own risk because I don't want you burning some burn down your house and blame me. So do it at your own risk, but you can burn it safely, right? Fire represents transformation. You can bury it. Okay, you can dig a ditch, symbolizing laying it to rest, or you can tear it up and let it scatter in the wind. Okay, whatever you want to do. As you do this, you can have your own declaration, but one of the declarations that I teach my clients and my people is this: this story no longer defines me. I release what doesn't bring me peace. I release what doesn't bring me peace. I release it and step into my truth. That's what I say. So you can come up with your own thing. But this is something that, especially within the new year, I challenge everybody on here. Okay, get your friends. Do this with your friends. Invite people over, at your family, however you want to do it. And you can make it a thing where it can be for yourself, or you can say as a family, or as a community, as a team. Let's all do this together. I'm gonna do it with my team and my family this year also. Okay. Step number 5. Hope y'all still with me. You got about 10 more minutes, and I'm gonna take some Q&A. Step number 5. Embody a new identity. And I laugh about this because this right here is dope. I'm gonna just give me some horns. This right here is dope. Embody a new identity. Okay. Somebody said get a haircut. Yeah, get a haircut. If you see me cut my dreads, then you know Trent has embodied a new identity. Trent has had a symbolic closure, right? Like, what did Trent go through? He cut his dreads off. But embody a new identity. What I'm laughing about this because this right here, woo. When I help people do this, when they move into, some people call it an alter ego, but it's a real version of yourself. I'm not telling you to create a fake narrative, but sometimes you can create something that you're not in order to become something that you want to be, right? So I'm not saying that you have to fake it till you make it, but you can progress towards it, right? If I want to say, man, you know what? I want to be in the best shape of my life, then I'm going to start acting like it now. If I say, okay, I want to be a CEO, I'm going to start acting like it now. It doesn't make you fake. You're preparing yourself for what's meant to come. But for everybody on here, if you want to break the cycle, embody a new identity. I teach everybody around me, put a name on it. So y'all know me. Like I call myself Shells. When y'all see Shells come out, like even right now, this ain't Trent. This is Shells. When you get that real talk, when you get that that athlete side, that's Shells, right? That's the side that I call upon when I need confidence, when I need belief, when I need no fear. Okay, that's Shells. This is a real part of me, right? It's not somebody I find make believe world. This is who I am. This is my most confident, dominant, alpha self. I call that person Shells. So hey, Shells, bro, you need to come out. Trent is more protect your peace. Trent is more calm, laid back. Trent is just more chilled. But Shells is more, we ain't waiting, right? Shells is more, I'm gonna step to the front of the line. Shells is more intentional with things, okay? So embody a new identity. You can write it right now. What's that person? What you call yourself, okay? Letting go of an old narrative isn't enough. Just saying I let go of this, it isn't enough. You need to replace it with a new identity because when you let go of something, there becomes a void. Replace it with a new identity. Step into the version of yourself who has already let go of the pain and step into their power. So in 2025, I want y'all to hit me right now on Instagram, right now, in the chat on Facebook, YouTube right now, hit me up. What's that person? Let me know the name. It don't matter. Some people, it could be T. Shelley, it could be Shell. I don't care what your name is, right? It could be Superwoman. Whatever your name is, I want you to have a version of yourself that says, man, this is the version that I know I'm lovable. This is the version that ain't gonna put up with no BS. This is the version that ain't gonna settle for less. This is the version of me that I know I need to call upon to live my best life. I don't have to stay in this version, but this version is a part of me just in case I need it, right? Clark Kent needed Superman. Superman needed Clark Kent. Okay? Batman needed Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne needed Batman. Peter Parker needed Spider-Man. Spider-Man needed Peter Parker. So who you gonna be? Letting go of an old narrative isn't enough. Replace it with a new identity, okay? Why this works, let's get geeky real quick. We're almost done. Neuroscience shows that if acting as if, this is crazy. And this is why so many people fake it till they make it. Now, it has to be real though, inside of you. I don't believe in the, I'm gonna be something. And listen, that works too. I don't believe in the fake it till you make it. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in lying to people and saying I'm this when I'm not. I don't believe in that. But I do believe in being something that you're capable of becoming, right? That you're moving towards. It's a fine line. But neuroscience says acting as if, rewires the brain. That's crazy. And I know this in sports. They teach this all the time. We had psychologists, sports psychologists come in and teach us these things. I know it's true. As an athlete, they tell you to do it all the time. Acting as if rewires the brain, aligns your thoughts and behaviors with your new reality. So how are we going to do it? This is how we do it. Visualize, okay? Get out in nature, okay? You can do it on the toilet if you want. If that's your place of peace. Wherever you need to visualize, in the car, do it. I would prefer nature, but wherever you got to do it at. Visualize these things. Who is healed? Who is the healed, empowered version of yourself? Now let me move into Trent right now, because Trent is very heartfelt and protect your peace. But who is the healed, incredible, empowered version of yourself? And I ask this question all the time, and what breaks my heart is that so many people don't even know. It's like, I don't know who that person is. And I think if you listen to tonight, I think you can figure that part out by going back and removing the narratives on your life and everything we talked about. But I really want you to think about that tonight. Like, who is that version of you? The Greatest You. Y'all know I wrote a book called The Greatest You. And if you read the book, you know I say the greatest you is a version of yourself that you haven't even met yet. There's a you inside of you that you haven't even met yet. There's a you inside of you that you haven't even met yet. Shadow work. Absolutely. I love the person that just said that. That's exactly what that is, by the way. Right? There's a you inside of you that you haven't even met yet. Like, how do they dress? How do they talk? How do they speak? How do they carry themselves? And I know that seems silly. You're like, like Trent, yeah, that's not gonna change anything. It's not gonna fix my bills. It's not gonna change the person that I'm trying to love. They don't love me. It's not gonna change it, Trent. So why? And what breaks my heart is that, again, the simplicity of life is the master of life. It's the simple things that we overlook and we undervalue that are usually the most valuable things that we can give to ourselves. Like, what are you around in 2025? Let's go through a process right now. Right now. If you're with me, just close your eyes briefly. And I want to go through a whole meditation with you. We don't have time for that. And I don't have the right audio. I don't want to get flagged on YouTube for using a copyrighted thing. But if you just close your eyes right now, I want you to just think about that for a second. That healed version of you, that version of you that knows their worth, that version of you that's living in their best life, right? Who are they around? How are you waking up every morning? When you wake up every morning, what are you doing? How are you feeling? What are you saying? What actions are you taking? When you're on your way to work, when you're driving to work, what are the thoughts that are flowing through your brain? What are you being intentional about? What are you putting in your body? Right? The more you can start being aware of those things and start thinking through that, and you take control over those things, and you say, you know what? This is a list. And I want you to think about this. And maybe you write this down. Hopefully you will. But write a list of what your best life looks like. I want you to write that list of what your best life looks like. From the simplest things to the most complicated things that people don't even think about. You could be like, what socks I'm putting on, what underwear I'm wearing. I don't care what it is. But the more you get intentional, the more you rewire your brain, the more you increase your faith. How do I know? Because it happened for me. The life that I'm living is not by accident, y'all. Of course, this is a God thing, and God brought me this is in his will. But once I knew this is for me, I walked into this. I visualized myself on stage. I visualized myself talking to people and people being in here listening. Right? I understood the words that I wanted to say. I understood how I wanted to show up. I understood how I wanted to carry myself. Because if you don't do that, then the world's going to tell you what you should be and who you should be and how you should say and what you should wear and what's success and all the other things that the world tries to put on you. You're either bringing what you want to the world or the world is leading your life and controlling who you are. And it's as simple as that. We can't change circumstances all the time. I can't tell you 5 steps to change your circumstances tomorrow. I might can give you some advice, but I can't say, hey, you know what, tomorrow you're going to be in a bigger house or you're going to be able to pay that car note if you do these 5 things. I can't tell you that. I might can give you some advice that can help down the line, but I can tell you how to start reprogramming your emotional state, how to start creating the emotional home that you deserve to live in that really serves your life, not the emotional home that makes you feel like you're less, that most of us are living in right now. I can show you by saying those 5 words, it all starts with you, that I've been saying for the whole year, how that can help you really take ownership over your life and give the power back into your hands instead of whatever trying to control your life right now. I can show you those things, and those things truly work. And I'm not saying that from my ideas, something I read in a book. I'm saying that because I've experienced this in my life. And some of you know this because you've been following me for the last 15 years. So I want you to do that. Visualize. Take one step every day to act like that version of yourself. Can we do that? Can we do that? Can we take one step every day to act like that version of ourselves? Right? How would that look like? Whether it's speaking up, maybe you're quiet and you bite your tongue when somebody says something to you. Maybe it's setting a boundary or even changing your posture. Maybe you walk different. Right? Maybe you change your wardrobe, you dress different. You know, that was one of the things that I did. I started dressing better. So I was like, man, you know what? I feel like let me wear what I want to wear. I started feeling better. Simple things. And I've done this with every client that I coach. I have them visualize. We go on a whole trip and we do this. And I have so many success stories of people actually becoming what they envisioned. So, my friends, your story doesn't end here, it starts here. It starts tonight. The painful narrative you've been living is just a chapter, right? It's just a chapter. Or just some chapters with an S, maybe a lot of S's, but it's not your book. Okay, you have the power to disrupt, to act against, reclaim your worth, find closure, and embody the new version of yourself. You have the power to disrupt it, act against it. And if it doesn't serve you, act against it. If it's not helping you, act against it. Right? We talked about that today, taking a whole different action towards it. You have the right to do that. Let's not just let go. Let's break free. Your next chapter is waiting to be written. And you know who got the pen? You. And it's the one where you rise. This chapter is the one you break free, the one where you rise. And I wish this can be true for everybody. I hope it is. But for that one person I'm really connecting with tonight, maybe the two or three of you, and I'm looking in your eyes right now, you're like, man, Trent, you don't even know. You don't even know, Trent, but I'm already there. It's for you. It's for you. You're going to be the one that rises. You're going to be the one that looks back this time next year and be like, man, I actually created who I wanted to be and who I needed to be. I'm proud of each and every one of you. I appreciate you. I love you. And as always, it all starts with you. It don't start with nobody else, nothing else. It truly starts with you. If you can share this, it will mean the world to me. If you found any value in this, tag me on Instagram. You might say, Trent, you might not reshare it. I might not, but more than likely I will if I see it. Or you might say, Trent, nobody follows me, doesn't matter. You never know who needs this. So as always, be a hero in somebody's life. I know a lot of you have already shared it. Thank you. A lot of you show up. If you're on YouTube right now, make sure you like this video. Everybody. If you're on Facebook, make sure you like it. YouTube, Facebook, both of you guys, make sure you share it. Okay? Share it. Your share means something. It helps beat the freaking algorithm. So people aren't just watching TikTok dancing videos on here and just crazy. Nothing wrong with that, but just dumb content. You know, the content ain't helping nobody. If you believe in this content, this message, do that for me. People always ask, how can I give back to you, Trent? That's it. Just spread the message as much as you can. I want to get to a point where there's like 20,000 people on this live at some point. And that means I got to consistently show up. And that means you got to consistently show up and bring me that energy, okay? The replay will be audio on my podcast tomorrow, the Trent Show podcast. This lives on forever on YouTube and also Facebook. And what I want to do right now is I want to end it, all right? So I appreciate you. I love you. But actually, before I end it, my bad, I want to take some questions, okay? I'm going to get in YouTube. Facebook ended my chat. I don't know what's going on. I think y'all were talking too much, so that I think we actually killed the chat. But on YouTube, I want to take some questions. So if you have a question right now about tonight, I'm gonna take a few questions. So put it in the chat, and I'm gonna answer one or two questions, and we're gonna end the night. All right. I'm just reading y'all's comments. What up? What up, Robin? What up? Man, you've been a top fan, Tamara. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me see what's on the super chat. Man, shout out for the super chat. And that, if you're on YouTube, a super chat will have your question stick out. So I'm not just trying to tell you to get it, but if you want me to see it, that's the easiest way to do it. All right, doing a super chat. Thank you. All right, let's see. All y'all just saying thank you. This was dope. Well, I appreciate y'all. Any question? All right, Vicky has a question. Okay, boom. Erica does too. So Vicky says the best way to kill the old story. Vicky, it's everything we talked about tonight. To be real with you, the best way to kill your old story, I think it's different for everybody, but it's to create a new one. That's the best way. It's to challenge it, and I really want you to go back to, it was a step 3, right? Or step yeah, step 3 or step 4. Nah, step 3. Not my bad. Step 2, rewrite the narrative through opposite action. I think that's very important. Even step 1, radical disruption. That's how you take the power from the old story when you start to create a new one. So, for example, I thought football was my everything. That was my old story. You're nothing without football. Boom, boom, boom. So if I would have stayed in that, I would have believed it. I would have not be doing what I'm doing today for sure, 100%. But what happened was I started to be curious. And so I tell people the timeline of change, and you can write this down, Vicky. Great question. I teach on this a lot. But the timeline of change is you go from, I don't think I can, right? I don't think I can change this. Most people start there, but you have to challenge that. And so I tell people, go prove yourself wrong or prove yourself right. Just go try. There's no harm in trying. What you're going to find out is that maybe, as we talked about, you might not, be successful at it, meaning that you might not win it or might not achieve everything you want to achieve, but where you're going to show yourself that you're capable. Okay. So once you show yourself you're capable, you go from, I don't think I can do this to, I think I am doing this, because you're doing it. Right. And that's the second step. And then you still challenge yourself. You still do the work through actions, through when we talk about championship mindset, commitment, consistency, discipline, faith, and heart. And then you move to more confidence level from, I'm doing this, to like, man, like I'm actually doing this, right? You get to that point. And the more you move down that timeline, the less power of your past has against you. So for me, it was like, man, I'm actually living a life without football. I'm actually enjoying myself. I'm actually finding purpose in what I'm doing. And then you move to the fourth step, and I won't give step 5 tonight, but the fourth step you go to, man, this is now my lifestyle. I am now this new being. I don't even care about the old anymore, because now I'm in a better place right now. So it's a process, right? It might take a year, it might take 2 years, but the best way to kill your old story is to create a new one. Improve yourself right. Erica said, how do you break a trauma bond? I want to say I did a podcast over it. I'm not sure which one it is, but you know, everything we talked about tonight is pretty much up that same boat, Erica, when it comes to trauma bonds, right? Just like any type of bond, you have to disrupt the cycle, right? Massively disrupt it. You have to make sure with that trauma bond, you have to understand it's your brain, right? So again, it's the same thing. If my brain keeps going back to addiction, because that's what trauma bonds are oftentimes, right? We're addicted to something, whether it be somebody who did something or told us something that we can't break free of. So every time my brain goes there, I want to massively disrupt it with something else, whether it be appreciation, gratitude, or an action. And I keep doing it over and over and over again until we create a new bond, right? We go from a trauma bond to a triumph bond. That's what we do. So that's a long process, more in depth than that. But I don't have 40 minutes to really answer that question. But that's a simplistic answer towards that. Great questions. I'm gonna take 2 more. Uh the Holy Spirit said to me this weekend, rise, because I take a long time to get up at 521 pounds. What words do you have for me to help me rise? Selena, the words I would tell you is, I'm proud of you. I'm freaking proud of you, Selena. Let me make sure you can see me. I'm proud of you. That's what I would tell you. To have awareness, to have a want to, that's the first step to any success. And you're already successful because, number one, you're here. It lets me know that you want more for your life. And I would say, just take it day by day, step by step. And it's possible. It's possible. Give yourself grace, but make a decision right now to say, you know what? This is the last day that I see this version of myself. And it will be hard. Make sure you have a support system. I'm gonna be a support system as much as I can with encouragement through videos. Hopefully, this chat makes you feel loved, Selena. But maybe you get some accountability. You join something. But I promise you, you're gonna look back this time next year and you're gonna be 100 pounds down because you're gonna stick with it, because you're gonna do it, because you're gonna have a conversation with your future self tonight. And I want you to do this. And what would that future you, 100 pounds down, at least tell you? How are you feeling? What are you doing? How are you looking? All those things, visualize that over and over and over again, but also give yourself grace because we all fight in this battle. Whether it be losing 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, whatever it is. I'm just proud of you for having the awareness. And I believe in you. Now it's time for you to go believe in yourself. Any suggestions for my new identity name? Haley. I would tell you, Haley, whatever serves you. You know what I mean? Like, what's something that just makes you feel empowered? Like, what do you need? You know, and I can't talk to you one-on-one, but what do you need? Like, what do you need in those moments of like, do you need confidence? Do you need courage? You know, maybe you have a nickname. I don't know if you played sports or not, but I think you call it something that triggers a confidence. You know, it triggers a confidence. You can also do this, and I don't want to get too deep on here, but you know, maybe you play a song also. You know, songs are great. You know, I play songs all the time to actually awaken Shells when I need him, when I call up on him. I was playing a song before I came on here. And I was moving my body, getting my energy up. So you can create that, you know. Shells and Hells. Oh, nah, not Hells. That's not a good one. I should have thought that out. Amanda said, I left her career great. What's my favorite type of music? Man, any music that moves my soul. Let's see. Yeah, good news, girl. That's awesome. How do you get over fear? Okay, this is the last question I'm gonna answer. And most of you know I love talking about this. So we have to change our relationship with fear. If you're struggling with fear, fear is often a compass, right? Fear lets you know that you care about something deeply or you want to do something deeply. Fear lets you know that you're alive. So change your relationship. Fear is not a bad thing. Fear is actually a good thing. Fear is actually a compass most times that will lead you in the direction where you need to be going. So I had a fear of speaking. I had a fear of doing what I do now. I had a fear of a lot of stuff. You know, I have a fear going on live on YouTube. Fears aren't gonna leave always, right? We'll start to overcome fears, but they're gonna be there. How you overcome a fear? I teach this all the time, and this is simple: is you have to change. A great quote that I always say is, when the why, when the purpose is the reason is strong enough, the fear will never be great enough. So what does that mean? I can promise you, anytime you did something that was fearful and you still did it, is because the reason, the why, or the purpose was strong enough, right? You were like, I have to do this, so I'm gonna do it. And so what does that mean? It means that we have to change what awaits on the other side of fear. Okay? If fear is a door and you want to get through this door, you have to change this. If this is weak, you'll never walk through that door because you realize you'll be like, man, that's not worth it. This has to be worth it. And if you think about things in your life when you've done something probably fearful, probably not even thinking that it was fear, it's because you had no other choice. You understood the opportunity costs. When the opportunity costs are high, you walk through fear every single time. So I would say change your relationship with fear. And fear is actually a positive thing, right? And fear can show you actually where you need to go with your life. You know, when I coach people, I always say, you know, if a freaking mountain bear was outside with your kids, I'm sure you're scared of a mountain bear. I mean, a mountain lion, a mountain bear. That's probably a thing too. A freaking grizzly bear is outside, right? You're at somewhere skiing, a grizzly bear run out. I mean, unless you don't really like your kids. But if you really love your kids, you're going to fight the grizzly bear. You're going to be like, Grizzly, what's up, Grizzly? Right? You're going to be like, right? You're going to tackle the grizzly bear. You're going to turn into a grizzly because your kids, right? You either everybody dying or that grizzly bear dying, right? But you ain't gonna be the one just surviving. And I mean, your kids getting taken away from a grizzly bear, right? You gonna go fight the grizzly bear. Are you scared of grizzly bear? Hell yes, you are. But you love your kids that freaking much that you don't care. The fear don't exist because I love my kids that freaking much that I will go through anything for them. I will give my life for them. There's no fear great enough. The only fear I have from, I'm not even gonna speak that right now, but there's no fear in this world great enough that will prevent me from going to do something for my kids in a life death situation. I will give my life. Not even thinking twice. Just is that it? Because I love them so much. So what's the thing? What's the theme of that? It's love. When you love something, when the purpose is strong enough, the fear doesn't exist. Actually, the fear does exist. You just don't feel it no more because you're on a mission of accomplishment that says, I don't care what's in the way. I don't care how fearful, how scary it may be. I'm going to do it. That will change your life when you deal with fear. It will change your life. Cool. Let's see. Call Mama Bear like the guy who punched the kangaroo. Yeah, you saw that? Yeah, that exactly. The meme when the guy was boxing the kangaroo. Exactly. He said his dog. He went to the kangaroo like, "What's up?" That kangaroo was like, "All right, let's get it." But shit, that dude love his dog. I would do the same thing for my dog too. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for rocking with me today. As always, every Sunday night, we'll be on here unless I'm out of town, but every Sunday night, 8:30 Central Standard Time. Make sure you set the notifications, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Facebook, same thing. I love you guys. You guys have a beautiful night. Hit me up in my DMs. Let me know what you got from this. And yeah, as always, it all starts with you. Let's get it. Let's get it.